If you're writing WAEC, you must plot at least 2 graphs. You cannot run away from it. So follow me, let me teach you the tips. First of all, you'll be asked to plot a graph of this against this. Let's assume that you're asked to plot a graph of M against T. What you're going to do is you draw the axis. If you're plotting M against T, you don't just write X against Y. No, you write M. If you're writing, you write M. In brackets, you write the SI unit of M. Against time, you write T. In bracket, SI unit of time. Remember, this is for positive graph. If it is a negative graph, you start from this very side. Okay, let's assume this is a positive graph. For your graph to be reasonable, the plotting must cover at least 1/3 of the graph sheet. So you must know this whenever you're trying to choose your scale. So what you're going to do first of all is to choose scale. Before you choose your scale, do you know what to do? You must check if you're asked to start both axes from origin. If you're asked to start both axes from origin, it simply means that here must be equal to 0. At the same time, here must be equal to 0. But if it was not stated in a question, you may choose not to start from the origin. Did you get that? Number 2, in choosing scale, you make use of even numbers. Don't plot your graph with prime numbers. Even numbers like we can say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in the same ratio. That is, the gap between 0 to 2 must be equal to the gap between 2 to 4. Let's look at this. We can go by 5, 10, 15, 20, depending on the highest number and the lowest number of the values you want to plot. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You can use 5, 10, 15, 20. You can go by 10, 20, 30, 40, depending on your value. Assume that these are the 5 points that has been plotted. What you're going to do is to draw a line we call line of best fit. Line of best fit is simply a straight line that will pass through 2 or 3 of the plotting. Can you see this? It passed through this and it passed through this. And we'll have some point here, and as well we'll have some point here. This is what we call line of best fit. And you're going to take it down, ensure that it crosses one of the axes. It is from this line of best fit that you can be able to calculate slope. How do we calculate slope? So simply draw a big right angle triangle that covers 1/3 of the graph sheet, starting from any point of your choice. So I will say this is a big right angle triangle. So I'll come here and write change in S, and I'll write change in M. This will enable the examiner to be able to indicate where the right angle is. So you must show this. It is from here that you can calculate slope. Slope is simply change in M over change in T. You don't just write change in X over change in Y just like in mathematics. No, use the parameters that are given to you. If it is change in M over change in T, that is what you're going to write. If it is change in D over change in T, that is what you're going to write. So how do we get slope? You take it down and get the value here, subtract it from the value here. In the same way, you take it like this, you get the value here and get the value here. You subtract this value from your value here and get the value for changing M. With this very point, you can score 6 over 6 from your graph. Please don't forget to invite your friend. I will still share more tips. Bye.